So you're thinking of seeing After Earth. Let's talk.
I review movie previews.
Hey, what's up? I'm the movie preview critic. Here's some movie truth about The Pursuit of Happiness 2. Space Journey. So it's like Taken fights nature, Cold War allegory, kids are evil, what's for dinner, product placement the movie, pretty sure this was the main inspiration, James Cameron's leftover creature ideas, and theme park ride. But is it taking those inspirations and doing something new and different? We begin with slow dramatic music and heavy breathing, creating tension and mystery. This footage is actually taken from a home security camera capturing the moment they found out M. Night would be directing the movie. The character names are Rage, as in anger, inner turmoil. Names as representations of the character. Estranged father and son. They're hanging out, taking the family spaceship for a cruise, when a meteor knocks them out of orbit and sends them crashing down on a nearby planet. This happens within the first 15 minutes, and will be all of the science fiction genre set pieces we will experience until Act 3. 70 minutes from this moment. Bad Boys 2 starts Sixth Sensing.
Crash landed. 2 confirmed survivors.
Who is he saying this to? It's not to the day the Earth stood still, because he knows. He's the other survivor. It switches to directly addressing the Karate Kid remake.
Son, this is not training.
And reveals the objective and theme of the movie.
Danger is very real, but fear is a choice.
The threats we will be facing are real. Everything on this planet has evolved to kill humans.
Except the air is breathable, water drinkable, and climate livable. Other than that, totally dangerous. The music buildup and Tony Robbins' motivational talk leads to the big Shyamalan super twist reveal.
Do you know where we are? This is Earth.
It's dialogue porn, done with the knowledge that there's a viewer, not being concerned with the integrity of the dramatic moment. Which would mean holding the shot on, I don't have any more movie references to call him, for his emotional reaction. It's Earth. So what? That's like going to Lithuania and saying, son, do you know where we are? The former Soviet Union. Holy shit. After surviving the crash, Cypher is hurt, the ship's rescue beacon is miles away, so the only hope of getting home is Kitai finding the beacon on his own. This is the movie. Technology sci-fi free imagery of Kitai coming of age, which is fine. We don't get many interesting stories where a character must face fear, challenging themselves, and changing in the face of adversity to become someone more powerful, following in his father's footsteps. M. Night has said that a common misconception of his films is that they all have twist endings, or that they're all scary. He insists that his movies are spiritual and have an emotional perspective, which is great. We need someone like that working in StoryCorp. It just means his stories are focused internally on theme and personal struggle. That's traditionally artsy and independent. For many moviegoers, this is also known as boring. Here's a perfect example of this. Character entering a dark cave is a classic representation of the journey into the depths of one's personal fears. So armed with a lame medieval version of Darth Maul's double lightsaber and a Dune life suit, Kitai touches trees, breathes in volcanic ash, soars with the eagles, a symbolic visual that represents the conquering of his personal obstacles, fails to lift the X-Wing out of the moat, runs from baboons, goes mountain climbing, another symbol of his internal struggle, hunts the bastard spawn of reindeer and zebras, does a really bad imitation of Apocalypse Now, until his journey is almost complete. The light of his new self is visible at the end of the tunnel, but he must first overcome future saber-toothed tiger, the battle which the preview totally ruined. I mean, that totally seemed like the end of the movie until, whoa, what the aliens are here. The sci-fi genre returns in Act 3, and it all makes sense in a convoluted, it's all being done so Kitai can go on a character journey kind of way. This alien arachnid looking beast is the Ursa. It was captured and contained on board the ship with them, but escaped after the crash. Why did they have it? Because these guys are the Skrell, an alien race at war with humans. They created the Ursa as a weapon to be used against us. Because 1,000 years ago, the happening occurred on Earth. Humans had to evacuate and traveled for 100 years at speeds faster than light until they found Nova Prime and built a civilization from the ground up. In the year 243 AE, the Skrull showed up, declared Nova Prime their holy land, and fought to eradicate the humans. The battle waged on and off for hundreds of years until the year 576 when the Skrull created the Ursa. Designed to kill humans, it hunts us by preying on the pheromones we secrete when we're scared. And that's the convoluted part. Why would a sophisticated, advanced alien race create a weapon with a weakness that the humans could exploit and control? Because for exactly that reason, it allows a fearful character to overcome their personal weakness and have a visually symbolic opponent that they can defeat. So that means if humans stop being afraid, this ultimate weapon doesn't work. That was in 576 AE. This story, according to the Columbia Pictures authorized plot summary, takes place in the year 1000 AE. So that means for the last 424 years, the Skrull haven't come up with a newer weapon. So that means Smith Family Robinson had this creature and were bringing it to Nova Prime to study or bring to some kind of historical museum. So this also means that 1,000 years ago, it took 100 years at faster than light speed to reach Nova Prime. But now apparently they can make this trip in a few days or hours. And even though that technology is advanced, they're still using swords. There's tradition, there's impracticality, and there's flawed story logic. It looks like the Skrull attack while Kitai is on his walkabout. Why would this happen? Because even though they have spaceship designs borrowed from Skyline, lasers, computers, they're set about the Ursa being the successful killing machine. Fortunately, one man stands in their way. Wild, Wild West. Because he's the rare human capable of controlling his fear totally, making himself invisible to the Ursa. Because of his heroic status and intergalactic fame, the Skrull want to kill the Ghost of Bel Air, which would allow them to unleash the Ursa, because apparently they only have one and weren't able to make like 10,000 of them and just let him go crazy on Nova Prime. Let's not focus on logic. This is an emotional M. Night Shyamalan journey. Kitai also discovers a colony of surviving humans. He and his dad, now healed, join up to fight the Skrull, and during this, maybe Cypher dies, but he's lived long enough to see Kitai become a better man than he ever was. Someone with all his strengths and none of his weaknesses. He'll be the new military hero and leader of Nova Prime. The one who discovered that the Earth has actually healed itself. After 1,000 years, it is habitable. It's time for humans to come back home and to start throwing plastic bottles into the ocean again. They can leave Nova Prime, end the war, and make peace with the Skrull. And that's the movie. Sci-fi action for the first 10 minutes, for the last 10 minutes, and about 80 in the middle of sightseeing on Pandora. If you like character journey and change and coming of age and futuristic nature that kind of looks like past nature, this will be totally fun. If you were looking for I Am Legend, Forest Ranger, you'll be happy. If you wanted Book of Eli, Revolution, Logan's Run, check out Oblivion, April 12th. It'll be better than I Am Legend, but not as good as Lion King. It maintains story consciousness, having competent and solid storytelling and filmmaking, but adding nothing too dramatic to the evolution of cinema. This might get lost in the summer blockbuster movie shuffle. It's released a week before Man of Steel and 2 weeks before World War Z, and dropped right into the middle of the box office momentum for Iron Man 3 and Star Trek Into Darkness. Most likely, audiences will feel movie déjà vu, having basically seen something similar with Oblivion a couple months earlier. Combine those factors with the continued Shyamalan backlash, which will only be slightly compensated by the enthusiasm of the Smith Dynasty fan base. This will make about $30 million opening weekend, with a US total of 80. Worldwide take will pad the number so this doesn't look like a total flop, ending up somewhere around 250 million. Now that you're informed about After Earth, make your choice. But first, tell me in the comments section if you're gonna see it or not, and explain why. Remember that StoryCorp gives us more of what we pay for, so let's choose our movies wisely. And until next time, long live good movies.